Well, if you've just joined me, you're listening to Lady Showbiz on the Sunday Lounge, and I'm very excited because Corrie Greenop is joining me on the Sunday Lounge today. Thank you for coming in.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure, and we're very lucky, actually, aren't we, to have you here?
Yes, it's been a bit of a kerfuffle trying to get here. So many, my car literally died as I pulled up to the radio station. So nice call to the AA, I think, when I'm finished here.
Not good, nothing worse.
Not great at all.
However, at least you got here.
I made it.
Which I am really pleased about.
That was
now, I have to say, a huge congratulations on your award. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Yes, well, it was early in November. We entered to the British Horror Film Festival in Leicester Square at Empire Cinema, and our film was an official selection there, and we got nominated for 5 awards, I think it was, and then ended up winning 3, which was a total shock to us because we just didn't expect to win anything at all. So it was, amazing night, really good fun, and totally unexpected.
So can I ask you, how did it all begin?
It all began really, I was actually a child actor for a long time. I started on doing commercials when I was like 3 years old and kind of did that till I was about 15. And at the age of 15, I started getting more and more interested into behind the scenes of the cameras. So used to go to the drama department at school and steal their camera and go make short films with my friends, and really kind of at that moment thought, right, I want to do something, maybe be a cameraman or editor or something behind the scenes of television and film. And basically, we went to the Northern Film School in Leeds and did my degree there in film and moving image. To try and pursue a career in it, so ended up doing a lot of camera work for people like the Discovery Channel. Been all over the world doing filming for them, which has been amazing. Doing music videos, a lot of corporate things as well, and then really I've always wanted to make a feature film, but I've never had the time to write a script. And actually it was a kind of a tragedy of errors really, because I used to do a lot of rock climbing. I've been rock climbing since I was kind of 5 years old, and had quite a serious rock climbing accident in 2012 in where basically my knee was totally wrecked. Wrecked my cruciate, my meniscus, it was a carnage down there.
That sounds excruciating.
Yeah, it wasn't great at all, so I've now got 2 bolts in my knee, so my climbing career was over, but because of this operation that I had to spend 3 months in bed. So I kind of was like, right, I'm never going to get this free time again, so if I don't write a feature film in this time, I never will. So ended up writing Wandering Rose, and then decided actually I really like it, I'm going to go and try and get finance, I'd love to be able to make it. Being a first-time filmmaker, nobody would touch me. I couldn't get finance from anybody. So what I decided to do was actually use money that I've been saving up for a house deposit, and I was like, I'm going to go and risk everything and make my film and finance my film through all my life savings, basically. So that's what happened. So yeah, it was a bit of a crazy risk, but hopefully it'll pay off one day, I guess.
Well, it's seeming to be paying off, isn't it?
At the moment, yeah, it's going well. Things are kind of slowly falling into place, so we'll see. I might be able to move out of my parents' house one day.
Oh, bless you, that's so sweet. Now, you were saying, whilst we were off air, what your favourite track was, because I'm going to diversify a little bit for Christmas. So would you like to tell the listeners what your favourite track is?
Well, I couldn't remember the name of it, but I remember listening to it over and over again at school, and it was by The Darkness. It was their one Christmas song that they made, and I absolutely loved it, and it's really cheesy and corny, but there's a million other Bublé songs that I could have picked, but yeah, The Darkness Christmas one was amazing.
Well, I think we should let that take us up to the news, don't you?
Let's do it.
So don't go anywhere, listeners, because Corrie's here straight after the news. Well, if you've just joined me, I'm here till 6. It's Lady Showbiz on the Sunday Lounge, and I have Corrie Greenop in the studio with me. He's still here.
Still here.
Still here. And we're having a good chat as well. What a nice guy you are.
Thank you very much.
He's making me laugh, actually. I was going to get him to sing To the Darkness, but I thought that would be a bit mean. Having said that, I do think Kevin Leslie would have been very pleased if I'd have done that.
I think he would. I think I'd have had a lot of phone calls from him and
absolutely, and even more so because I got him to sing when he was on here the last time.
Oh, did you?
I did, yes.
I need to watch that.
He wasn't
I have to watch
expecting that.
Oh, good.
So,
I think I'd try and find the nearest window and jump if anyone asked me to sing.
Anyway, let's go back to your award-winning film,
Okay.
The Wandering Rose and Demon Baby.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about it, the actual plot of it?
The actual plot is about a young couple who go away for a romantic weekend to the Highlands of Scotland before Rose gives birth to their first child. So Theo in it sees it as kind of a last chance to have a romantic weekend away. But strangely enough, weird, dark things start coming back to haunt Rose, and things from her past that she hasn't told Theo about start to haunt her and start playing with the weekend, and the weekend basically descends into a living nightmare for both of them. So, yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, I must admit, I have watched some of the trailer and the water scene.
Yeah, it's that was even terrifying filming it because it was so cold.
It looked it. I was just going to say it looked really cold.
Yeah, no, we had to go because we managed to shoot it in the busiest time of the holiday season in the Cairngorms. We shot in Aviemore in Scotland, so we had to get up super early every morning and film because the beach that we were filming on, it's usually packed full of people, there's canoes, kayaking, everything's going on. So we were up literally at first light to get into that water, and bless our lead actress, Corrie, she did a sterling job there. I was like, do you want to get out? She's like, no, it's fine. But she did used to swim for Scotland, though.
Oh, really?
So she's kind of used to it. So
oh, my
I, on the other hand, wasn't. I was there holding the camera, like shaking, like, can I get out now?
I wasn't going to say anything actually about that.
Yeah, it was just not great at all. I was so cold. And
see, for me, I wouldn't even get in the water, I'm afraid. I'm not a water baby. I do not like water.
No, pain for your art. I kept thinking it's going to look good. It'll look good. It was fine, but no, it was so cold, and just had to make sure we got it first time because I'm not going back in that water. I was like, no, we've got it. It's fine. We'll edit around stuff if it's terrible. But
well, it didn't turn out terrible, did it?
No, it turned out good. Thankfully, no, it was great. No, it was really good.
So, how does it feel when obviously you have an idea and then it all comes to fruition? How does that make you feel?
It's really weird. It's like my brother said something. It's the first thing that he's ever seen me actually complete in my life, because I'm like one of those people that will say, "Oh, come around and help you paint," and I'll get bored very, very quickly. And I think I have to do lots of different things because my mind works so quickly that I get so bored, and I've never finished something. So it's like, I'll try that, I'll do that for a bit, and it's like, nah, I'm bored. So it was like to actually do something and complete it. It's it's incredible, really. Just having it all in your head, and then from there to the script, and then from script actually going out shooting it, and then actually seeing it at your premiere it's just an incredible experience. Really, really amazing.
It sounds it. It really, really does. And well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
And I can't not mention this. Clapperman.
Yes.
Tell the listeners about Clapperman.
Well, it didn't turn out. We basically, the Clapper boy, who actually the lead character is named after Theo, it was my cousin, and he's going to hate the fact I'm telling this. But basically, he's essentially our version of Carl Pilkington. So Carl Pilkington, like Ricky Gervais. That's our Carl Pilkington, and he's a genius, but he's also he's a nutcase. And he basically, we got him to come. He was originally going to come along because he's really interested in film, and I was like, well, yeah, come along and do the making of for the the DVD. And so he came along with the camera, and I think 90% of that footage is him looking at himself in mirrors, like checking like his hair and stuff. And it was like, okay, we can't really do a making of. So we gave him the clapperboard to do. It was like, that'd be quite useful. But there's so many times where we'd literally be like, okay, Theo, ready to mark it? Okay, Theo, mark it. And then he'd turn and be like, where's the camera? It's like, oh, Theo, it's... just that big thing there, just clap in front of that, so bless him. But for morale, he was amazing.
So he's definitely not Clapperman, is he? He's Clapper Boy.
He's Clapper Boy, definitely. He's no, I think there's an interview actually on our Facebook page of Wandering Rose of him talking about how he'd like to clap around Hollywood and just clapping, making his way to the top. And he was like, clapping with the big dogs and stuff like that. It's like,
what a cool idea!
You'll make it. So I'd love to make a documentary about him because he's a very funny guy.
He should have actually come in today. I could have done with Clapper Boy.
That would have been amazing. He'd have loved it, but I think he'd have done something terrible, I'm sure.
Anyway, so speaking of Clapper Boy, if you ever need a tea girl, I can make a good cup of tea. Honestly.
I'm from Yorkshire, so we have high tea expectations.
Ooh.
So
I think I can match them.
You can match them.
I do,
okay.
yes.
All
yeah,
right.
You'll have to try me out, I think. Anyway, let me ask you as well. What have you got in the pipeline? What's coming up? What are you working on?
I'm working on a few projects. Actually, you mentioned Kevin Leslie. I'm doing a project with him and Kathleen Edwards. A thing called Bridge Encounter, which is a film that we're hopefully shooting in January. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that and hopefully going to get it out to festivals for kind of May, take it to Cannes and do the kind of festival scene with that. So that's looking like it's definitely happening, which is really, really good. So just trying to finalise getting Actually, it's a good thing. We're trying to get some product placement for it, you know, looking. So if you're any listeners out there who want, you've got a shoe label or shoe brand or any clothing brands, we're looking for you. If you check out the Facebook page, it's just Facebook Bridge Encounter, the movie. We're looking for product placement and clothing for that. So that should be really interesting.
Nicely done that.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
really great link.
Great segment. Yeah, no, my agent will be happy I've got that in now. So
he will definitely.
So that's fine. So yeah, no, it was basically Kevin. I've wanted to work with Kevin for a long time after seeing Rise of the Craze.
He's a great actor, isn't he?
Absolutely superb, yeah, really, really good. And he basically, I managed to get in contact with him and I said, look, I've got this feature film script that, you know, is going out there at the moment. We're currently getting finance for and hopefully going to start shooting it towards the end of this year. And then he said, well, actually, I've got a really good script that I want you to read. And I had a look at it and was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, the dialogue in it is just, you know, really, really lovely little story. He was like, do you want to direct it? I was like, absolutely, yeah, that'd be great. So so hopefully that'll, like I say, be finished in kind of February time and then out to festivals.
And what kind of film is that? Is that another horror film? Or?
It's not. It's more of a kind of fantasy drama. It's just a really sweet tale. I mean, I don't want to give too much away about the actual story because there is a bit of a twist, but it's all set on a bridge, which is why it's called Bridge Encounter. And it's just a really lovely, really good name. And it's just a really, really lovely story about two people who meet on a bridge. Very, very sweet. With it's quite a meaningful piece as well. So I think it was going to be really, really good. Looking forward to just shooting it now. I'm kind of at the stage where it's like just hungry to I want to start filming it and stuff. So it should be fantastic.
Excellent. And what else are you working on?
I'm currently the other feature scripts that I'm working on is called The Passing Beacon, which is going back to kind of a psychological horror, and we're hoping to shoot that up in Scotland. That's about a father and a daughter who live in a remote lighthouse up in the Isle of Skye. And a stranger comes to visit them and all kind of hell breaks loose again. So typical kind of psychological horror type thing. But yeah, that's currently doing the rounds, the scripts. I'm actually back down in London tomorrow to finish the next draft of that with my co-writer Lee. So hopefully by the 11th we can send that off to the producers and financiers and start going with that one as well.
Excellent. So it's all happening.
So yeah, it's all really busy. It's been a bit of a crazy few years.
I know for myself I love a psychological thriller.
Yeah, they're the best ones.
I don't like the slash horror.
No, I'm not a fan of like slasher gore. It's I'm a big fan of like Korean horror and Japanese horror where you really have to invest in the characters and there's some kind of meaningful twist at the end rather than just it's a group of kids who are going off to a cabin and they're all going to get killed. I'd rather something that has a deeper message but also will scare the living daylights out of you.
Sure.
Really nice. So, yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
he says that with a smile,
yes,
a big broad smile,
terrified,
scares the living daylights out of.
Yeah.
I think on that note we'll have a Christmas song.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You're listening to Lady Showbiz on the Sunday Lounge. Bruce Springsteen and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Did you like that, Corrie?
I do. I love that song. Very festive.
Well, you said you like all things Christmassy.
I do. Yeah, I'm a big Christmas favourite time of the year. Absolutely love it. We've got a huge Irish family, so everyone gets together, and it's just really nice to see people and eat far too much food and drink far too much.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, that's what Christmas is about, right?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Then worry about it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then be depressed the whole of January and February.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're just speaking then about you preferring to direct in films rather than be in the forefront.
Yeah.
Can I ask you who actually inspires you as a director?
As a director, I'd have to say my number one is Stanley Kubrick. I think he was a god in terms of the way that he crafted his films and made his films. Shining is possibly the greatest film I think ever made. Absolutely love it.
I love Shining.
So good, absolutely amazing. I also love Nicholas Winding Refn, who directed things like Drive and Valhalla Rising. I think he's very cool. And actually, the films he makes, it's kind of you either love them or hate them. And he has always said that he thinks film should be 50-50. If 50 people hate it and 50 people don't, and 50 people love it, then that's good cinema. And I kind of totally agree with him. If you think everything is fantastic or everything is terrible, then that doesn't start conversations and it's not very creative, I don't think. But there's a really great documentary with him making his latest film called Only God Forgives with Ryan Gosling in. And he's been in Thailand for 6 months and he's just sat on his bed crying And he's like, I don't know what I'm making this film about. And I like the fact that someone at his level, you know, who is, you know, he's won all these awards, you know, making films with Ryan Gosling, can still feel that low and just be like, why am I doing this film? I don't know what I'm doing. So it kind of gives you hope out there when, you know, I'm on a film set stressing my head out. It's quite nice to see someone even at his level, just like, I don't know what these characters are doing. I don't know why he's doing that or they're doing that. Why am I making this movie? So it's kind of, it's really nice to hear that he's kind of quite down to earth and he still has human problems that we all do.
Well, that's it. Nice. We are still all human, aren't we?
Absolutely, we are indeed.
And it's good to be reminded sometimes.
Well, I like to be reminded at least twice a week that I am a human, actually. That's,
Are you sure? Only twice?
Yeah, well, twice. I mean, it depends, you know, it depends what kind of mood I'm in. But yeah, I'll have someone to go, you're a human. Good. And
with regards to acting, who would you like to act in your film, aside from Kevin Leslie?
Obviously, Kevin. I don't know, actually. I think it all depends on the project. I think, you know, I think there's certain people that are good for certain things. I don't necessarily... Well, I certainly wouldn't have a named person in my film for the sake of it, to, you know, put bums on seats, get it a big cinematic release if I feel they're wrong for it. One thing I absolutely hate is when you get either English actors playing Americans or American actors playing English people, because 9 times out of 10 you can tell their accents are terrible and it totally ruins the movie. There's what was it? It was Robin Hood, I think. That movie, I hated that because of Russell Crowe's accent. It's like you're spending millions and millions of pounds on this film, and it's totally ruined by clearly a guy who is quite, you know, he thinks that he's amazing, really. And,
I'm not a fan, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I really don't like him, but it just annoys me how, you know, even, you know, someone like Ridley Scott, who, you know, is possibly the greatest British director of all time, won't say to him, okay, Russell, what accent is that? Because that's terrible. Why are you doing that? And it's obviously his ego. He thinks he's so good that it's like, no, I'm doing it. And it's like, oh, come on, it's just ruining this whole film because of that terrible accent. It's really, really a bugbear of mine that I can't stand.
So would you use an unknown?
Absolutely, yeah. I think if the right part was there and they were someone who was, you know, absolutely perfect for this character in this film, then yeah, absolutely I would. I think one of the major issues though that we did have with Wandering Rose was, you know, we took it round to Cannes in 2014 and a lot of the sales agents and distributors were like, well, there's nobody famous in it, you know, we can't sell this as a product because, you know, even people, you know, on low end, like soap stars, basically, they will help. We actually had Bhaskar Patel from Emmerdale, who makes like a quick cameo in it, and you know, that might be great, you know, in England, but everywhere else worldwide, no one knows who he is really. So it's a fine balance really. I think if I could get obviously someone famous, you know, if a Brad Pitt or Ryan Gosling or someone like that, you know, said I'd love to be in your film, then obviously I'd find a part for them. But at the same time, I wouldn't want it to be something like there was what was it called? The film called Blow Dry with Josh Hartnett in playing a Yorkshire boy from Keighley. And it was just awful. It's like, why would Josh Hartnett be a farmer from Keighley? Like, that's just ridiculous. Doing this awful accent, and it's obvious that, you know, these producers have said, oh, Josh Hartnett wants to be in your film. Find a part for him.
Sure.
So I think it was Guy Ritchie who had Snatch, and Brad Pitt phoned up and was like, I want to be in your film. And they were like, we don't have a part for you. What should we do? And so he realised that he couldn't do the Cockney accent at all, so that's why, okay, we'll make you be the Irish gypsy. You can do that part because you'll be fine at that because no one can understand. And he's amazing in that, absolutely amazing. So it's quite funny how they quickly had to find him a part for it.
How cool!
Brilliant. Yeah, it was really good. I'm waiting for my phone call.
To find me a part.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my phone call for Brad Pitt. I'd like to be in your next film.
I was hinting then. I was going to say, I could do a cameo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Showbiz.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that'd be fine.
I think they've heard of me over there.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
do you think so?
Oh, come on, everyone's heard of me.
Fabulous, loving that. Thank you. I'll take that one.
Take it.
I've taken it. So going back to your acting as well, your acting days and where you've worked. Did you work at Home Firth? Did you work for a company there?
I did, yes. I worked there for a long time. A company.
How cool is that?
So yeah, it was nice.
Lovely place.
Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I was there for 3 years, I think, as an editor doing all their kind of videos there. But yeah, lovely. It was. I used to cycle there actually from where I used to live, and it was just like this pretty good commute to work. Nice cycle in the Yorkshire countryside. It was lovely. No, it was I love Home Firth. Really, really nice place.
And for those of the listeners that don't know, Last of the Summer Wine was filmed there, wasn't it?
Last Summer Wine Country. Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful. I've not been for such a long time, but when I read that you'd worked there, I thought, what a nice place, like you say, to commute.
It was lovely. It's certainly beats like the hustle and bustle of London. It's quite nice. It's Very, very scenic.
So do you go on your bicycle in London?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't dream of.
I think
of
I'd be
going.
too scared.
I can deal with it. I know actually a few cyclists who do cycle in London,
you?
and they like arrive at work and they're physically shaking with aggression. It's like that's not how you should feel before you start work.
Definitely
It's
not.
all the aggression of all the cabs. I mean, it's crazy. I think they're all on some kind of crazy death wish cycling in London.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Psychological thriller, even somewhere.
Psychopaths. Psychopath.
No, I think we'll leave that one. Let's have another tune, shall we? And then we'll come back and chat some more.
Great.
And that was Snow Patrol on the Sunday Lounge. Did you like that, Corrie?
I did. It's a really great song.
Now, speaking of your name, I have to ask you,
Yeah.
where did it come from?
Again, it's the rock climbing and mountaineering background. My grandparents and my dad are really, really avid mountaineers and rock climbers, and Corrie means man of the mountains.
Cool, it's
So
a cool
that's
name.
where it came from. Yeah, no, it's. I think my mum wanted something a bit more normal, and my dad was like, no.
Oh, really?
Call him Corrie,
Dad
yeah.
won.
So Dad won that one, yeah.
So is it cos for friends or?
It's cos for friends, family, anybody really. I don't know where cos came from actually. It was just something that had kind of been called since I was a kid really, and stuck with me. But yeah, no, it's Corrie when I'm being naughty.
I know. Oh, is it? Is that your Sunday name as
That's
well?
it. Yeah, that's it. Corrie, no.
Speaking of being naughty, when it was Christmas time for you, if you were naughty, what would Mum and Dad say to you?
Oh, it's just the worst thing ever, isn't it? To be told that you're going to be naughty on Christmas. Like, you used to,
Absolutely.
as a kid, you'd have the list of presents, and it's like, if you're naughty, you just point at the list, and it's like, oh, no. And I've got a little brother who we used to fight, so, like, still to this day, we play fight. Sadly, he's a lot bigger than me now, so I don't seem to win as much, but yeah, we used to fight all the time, and certainly that would be a big incentive not to fight, would be toys. In Christmas, no, don't fight.
No,
But
see,
okay.
we want those Christmas gifts.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Have you done your Christmas shopping?
No, not at all. I'm terrible.
I thought I'd
I'm
ask.
so
I
bad.
just
Yeah,
thought I'd ask.
no, it'll be a last minute thing again.
So
or
you
on
really
Amazon.
love Christmas, yet you haven't done any shopping right
But I think Christmas shopping is the most un-Christmassy thing ever. Like, you just feel so horrid afterwards, and you just want to cry. No, Christmas shopping for me is going to bars or coffee shops and just drinking and eating mince pies and
See, that sounds good.
doing it all on Amazon or something. As you're.
I've bought one present, so
One?
I can't say anything
It's
really.
one more than me.
I started absolutely weeks ago, and I was quite smug, and I'm still with that one present.
still with it, yeah?
Yeah, I've not done any more yet.
Well, it's like you're getting there. That you've started the
Yeah,
ball is rolling.
I guess so. My mum's super organised, and she's got lots, all done, wrapped, and everything.
Some people are, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm really not
No,
like
I'm
that.
terrible. Absolutely terrible at it. It'll certainly be something last minute, and I get to the point where if people don't ask for them, I don't get them, which I think is terrible. It's really, really bad because like you expect a present, don't you? And it's like, well, you never told me what to get you, and I find it so hard to present shop for people if they haven't told me what they want. If they've said, right, I want that, then it's not a problem. But if I have to come up with something and be creative like that, it's like I don't know. It's like it was my sister's birthday yesterday. Friday, I was like, okay, so you're 22 now? Do you still like Barbies? Like, what do I get a 22-year-old girl? Like, I have no idea.
You've got to say happy birthday to her now.
Okay, happy birthday, Rose. So yeah,
Wandering Rose.
Wandering Rose. That's it. She's named after the film. No, the film was named after her. So.
I hope the film was
the
named
film,
after
yeah, the
her.
film was named after her. Yeah, no, I try and put all family members' names in my film just
Oh, I
as a
like
little
it.
homage to them. Yeah.
So what did you get her for her birthday?
Nothing as of yet.
Oh,
It's in the
dear.
post. It's in the post.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
You've
bad.
said it live on air now, so...
Yeah, I still don't know what to get. Any suggestions would be great for a 22-year-old girl. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like,
Rose, I suggest you let your brother know what you would like.
yeah, exactly.
Give him a long list.
No, it doesn't need to be long. Just like one short, easy.
No,
cheap
because then
list.
if she gives you like a few things to choose from, then you can get a Christmas gift as well. Then.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See,
I
I was
see.
thinking.
You were okay. I'll have to do it. Yeah, she needs to tell me.
And what's the worst Christmas present you've ever had?
Oh, the worst
You don't have to say
Christmas
who it's
present.
from.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, the worst Christmas present. What is it? Actually, I'm going to name and shame. My dad's pretty terrible at getting Christmas gifts. One year I had nothing, so I think that was the worst one.
No.
And I was just sat. In fact, it was last Christmas, and I was just totally came round, and I think it was Boxing Day because Boxing Day is his birthday as well. So he gets 2 lovely presents from me, and I'm just sat there kind of like twiddling my fingers, like, is he going to bring me anything out? And nothing, absolutely nothing. And he was like, you do all right. I was like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, he's on my naughty list this year. He won't be getting anything from me, but he's terrible. But he doesn't think. I think I'm a bit like him in that sense. I don't think about them, and then it's like when it's too late, it's like, oh dear, never mind. Totally forget. It's awful.
Well, they were saying that socks are a good present.
Socks. See, I don't mind socks because I always have so many holes in socks. I walk around barefooted half the time.
Man,
so actually, socks is not a bad. I would be perfectly happy with socks.
Now I have to mention underwear now then, because they do say on average that a man doesn't change his underwear for 3 days.
3 days.
Please do tell me that is not the case. Now at this moment in time.
4 maybe. 4 is, I don't know. When does it start getting weird? No, no.
My guy actually said to me, "Well, that is just an average."
Well, it is an average. Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I think we'll have enough of that conversation now. Let's go back to Wandering Rose, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
And can I ask you, where can people actually get to see Wandering Rose?
It's being released in the UK in, I think, at the end of March, April next year. And that'll be out on DVD and VOD, so Amazon Prime. So it'll be in like your local HMV and all the local supermarkets.
Oh, excellent!
It'll be out there. But yeah, people who live further afield, it's out on DVD in North America. It's being released in Brazil this month.
What date this month?
On the 17th of December. So yeah, my sales agent rang me and said that you're being released in Brazil, which I thought fantastic. This is great. And the 17th, I was like, okay, who are we competing with? It was like Star Wars. I'm like, we're competing with Star Wars. I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, that'll be one ticket sold then to see the film. I was like, right, that's. Yeah, I won't be expecting it to be a bestseller out there if Star Wars is out on the same day.
Hey, but it's kind of up there though, isn't it, with Star Wars?
Well, that's it. It's quite a cool thing to say, but at the same time, it's like, well, no one's going to buy it or see it because they'll all be out watching Star Wars. So I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, it's out. I think we've sold it to 10 regions now all around the world, from Korea, Japan, North America, and things like that. So yeah, just looking forward to it being released in my home country, which would be nice. See all the Scottish landscape. It'd be great.
Up and down the country.
Absolutely,
HMV.
absolutely.
So you're going to be doing any appearances at HMV then, do you think?
I don't know. I'm sure that someone will, whether it's my agent or the sales agents, want me to go and do some signed copies. Possibly, I don't know. So I think that people rather see the cast rather than the director. To be honest, I'm sure the cast will be going round. Whereas I don't know whether people really want to see me or care. To be honest.
Oh, bless you. Of course they do. I'm sure they would do. And can I ask you as well, with regards to actually getting into the industry, obviously you've got really good agents with who you're with.
Yeah.
What would you recommend to somebody that's just starting off?
I think, well, for us, I quickly realised how difficult it is. I mean, I went to the Northern Film School, and one thing that film school never teaches you is actually, the backside of the film, the business end of film. So you can be as creative and make as many short films, as many films as you want, but if no one sees it, what's the point? And for me, the best film school I ever went to was spending 6 days at Cannes Film Festival, because you quickly realise actually this is a huge business, and you very quickly have to learn about what it is sales agents and distributors are looking for, and it's almost a tick list. So if you have a film, if you want to do a romantic comedy, I would say watch every romantic comedy out there and look at all the cliches in the tick list, because that's what they're looking for. So that's exactly what I did with Wandering Rose. Is there almost was a tick list of, okay, they need to be somewhere remote, location. There needs to be, these things need to happen within my script, so that when it's out and made and sales agents look at it, they think, yep, that ticks that box. Yep, we can sell that. Which is why. My film Wandering Rose, the name got changed to Demon Baby in North America, which when I first heard that, I thought it was a joke, because I was like, my first film can't be called Demon Baby. That's so depressed. I don't want to be known as the guy that made Demon Baby. It was like, I was so depressed. I was like, is this actually a joke? And like, look, it'll sell. People see that on the DVD shelves and they'll do it. So be aware that people will change.
Though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's massive, but it's. Sadly, Demon Baby, it's not doing what it says on the tin, because people watch the film and like, well, there's not a baby in it, or there's not a weird demon. But from their point, it is all about selling the DVDs and getting it out there and as much exposure as possible. So I do totally understand it, and I also know the next films that I'm working on, I've been in talks with sales agents and distributors, and they're like, we'll always change the name. The name will nearly always be changed, and the DVD cover work will be something that we want to sell, because it is a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for is someone who's going to be able to do that. Whereas if you want full creative control, you have to be someone like Quentin Tarantino or
Sure.
a massive producer.
But how
who
do you
can
feel
have
about that though?
It's when you first hear it, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's kind of gut wrenching because it's like all this, my creative licensing has been totally thrown out the window, and they're doing, whatever they want. They're cutting trailers to my film, and all the branding around it is totally different to my original concept and idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful, and it's very, very, it's hard to say because, like I said, I don't want to be known as the guy that made Demon Baby. I want to be known for Wandering Rose, which is a
Sure,
far
yeah.
more subtle title.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I have meetings with people, and the more I'm learning about this industry, it's kind of, you have to learn that actually this is the industry, and it will happen
And
to
that's
you.
how it works.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
If you want this to be seen by people, it's going to happen to you. And I guess it's, you just have to be quite thick-skinned and get over it and be like, well, if that's the only way that I can do it at this stage of my career, then that's it, because hopefully I have a successful film career. And I'd rather, lose some creative license now, and then hopefully when I go to, get a BAFTA-winning film or, things like that, then hopefully I'll be able to have a bit more creative license and a bit more creative, control over the products that it is. I mean, luckily they've not changed any of the film, so the film is, my final cut, which is great, because I know sometimes producers will change the cuts of the films to make them sell better. But luckily, the Demon Baby on DVD is Wandering Rose. Luckily, so as long as they don't mess with that, I'm okay. Okay.
Don't mess with it.
Don't mess with it.
No, don't mess. Shall we have another track?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's have a Christmas track again, shall we? Chris Rea and Driving Home for Christmas. That's one of my all-time favourite tunes, my Christmassy tunes. You can tell I'm in the Christmassy mood now, can't you?
You're very festive now.
I am now, yes. Actually, this is the first show they've been playing them, so yes, I'm quite in the mood now.
It's all for me.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, you've got me all festive, all excited for Christmas.
That's it. Good. Happy to help.
So, can I ask you, where can people find out about what you're doing on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, so just under cause Greenop. Also, my film company, Green 13 Films, we're also on Facebook. Twitter, I think I'm at Corrie Greenop. With all the film projects that we have, we always put up Facebook pages, and that's always on the green13films.com website.
Okay.
So in terms of even production jobs and castings as well, we also put them all out on there and on the social network sites as well.
Excellent.
Yep.
And are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter, yeah. My personal one, I think it's at Corrie Greenop.
Okay.
Yep.
So they can find out everything that you're doing there, yes?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, I wish you every success with what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
And I'm so very pleased that you came in to see me today.
Thanks very much for having me. It's been great.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, good luck with everything. And more importantly, good luck with the AA, with the car.
Yes, thanks, yeah. I can't wait for that.
I think you should go ring them now.
I think so.
Thanks again, Corrie.
No worries, thank you very much.